All right, you're asking for it, so here it is.
Epicast.
Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, and all that.
All right. Welcome to the 223rd episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, of course, this is our LeBron James episode, or for you fans of MJ, it's our MJ episode. Whatever it may be, it's the GOAT episode because we just added another accolade to our illustrious trophy case, Wine Enthusiast 40 Under 40 honorees 2019. We in the building. I am half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my he's going to edit that, but he's not. Co-host Dave Brace, he say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners. We are number 33 and 37 of the 40 Under 40 Wine Enthusiasts.
We out here.
And if you're looking for us, you can find us, well, I mean, I guess in Wine Enthusiast magazine, but elsewhere you can find us
online, winemag.com.
Yeah, you can also find us at epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. 223 episodes, man. We've been asking you, and we will continue to ask you, please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review. That's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well, and that's how we continue to do well, man. So please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review.
Listen, you love us. You see us in public, you love us. You'll see us in Wine Enthusiast magazine. You'll tell us that you love us. But please, at the click of a button, please tell the internet, please tell the world, tell everybody, tell them that we somebody to follow, we're someone to listen to, we're someone to keep your eyes on because we where you want to be.
Repping the bird.
Yes.
And a little bit of Cleveland.
Well, no. There's a lot of bit of Cleveland in there. There's a lot of bit of swag. A lot of bit of Cleveland drip on that. You know what I mean?
Once in a while.
That's why you gotta hate. I never hate on the bird. And I'm trying to be real humble till about week 11 of this NFL season to see where we looking at in the playoff hunt. Extremely humble. But don't let us fuck around being first place.
I might have a little something there this year.
No, that's neither here nor there. But if you it's 223 episodes today. We said it for 222 episodes. We're gonna say it one more time, and probably until y'all cancel us. In lieu of rates and reviews, we do accept shots at Hennessy. Yep. All right, shout out to James Logbo. He's no longer Car Guy DJ. And the Conways for starting the trend. Shout out to everybody for keeping the trend going. Shout out for all the love from Wine Enthusiasts. That I mean, to say honored is
that's vast understatement, man.
Very
it
much
doesn't even. It doesn't even like it's. I'm still kind of like nuts. I didn't even know like when they first like sent the email. I was like, is these Russian bots or something? Like are they trying to like steal the identity, which is cool. Like if anybody wants to steal my motherfucking credit, that's cool. My credit ain't good enough. Like you might even improve it. Like I mean, whatever you decide to do with it.
Life alert hack. You'd be like, damn, my shit went up 12 points.
Truth. I mean, so it was weird. Like I mean, because you don't, like we typically you get one of those like magazines or like, I mean, those type of where you got to like have people vote for like 3 months every day, like, with the
kind of like they did with the festival.
Yeah, with all the, I mean, the festival, this and the other, and like, got to vote. And we were like, man, I don't really want to do that again, like, and they were just like, no, we
recommend, we try and put you in.
Yeah. We saw what
we need
doing.
to do.
It's like, what? Like,
fill out this questionnaire. Like, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was such an honor. The list was phenomenal. Everybody there, I mean, you have motherfuckers owning big vineyards.
Yeah, they had me clutching my pearls a little bit at the shoe. Like, oh, so you really doing it. Like, you own shit.
Motherfuckers came with like, I mean, like they grapes that they grew and they fucking like, it was wild. Like,
we don't even have a lease under the drinking part. Like, y'all got whole vineyards and. Okay,
we in a basement in Allentown right now, but I mean, it was kind of wild. It was humbling. It was a dope experience going out there. It was wild because we out there and we want to like, how you flick it up and be like, yo, we have this like, no, y'all got to shut the fuck up.
No, they put us on a moratorium. Yo, and they was dead. Like they didn't say it threatening, but the word itself very threatening. Like I've never been on a moratorium.
Yeah, they was like, this can easily be the 39 of the 40. So the shout out to that. Like I mean, in the loft with the wines and cheeses and shit.
Yeah, no, they swagged me up a little bit. I came back with my pinky out just for no reason at all. Like I'm a different dude now.
Yeah,
I'm a totally different guy.
It was wild. And like with all of that going on, like leading into the fest and like still with everything that we got going on. And then it was kind of wild as everything is wrapping up and kind of like dying down. And then boom, like this drops and just, it kind of set the city on fire a little bit. Just, it was insane. It's nice to see Pittsburgh get a little bit of that burn. And just even the beer industry, like creeping into that, like, cause it's wine enthusiasts. Right. But like I feel like, you know, the craft beer industry is one that like you can't really ignore anymore.
Yes, it can't be ignored. It's got to be recognized, and it's sustainable. I think that's what it is. Like they're looking at it like, yo, this ain't going anywhere. Like you could keep ignoring it, but you're missing out on something. Like you're missing out on the vibe, the actual quality of the product, you know what I mean? Like, and the uniqueness of what we bring to the table, I think is what's really humbling about, like, for people to recognize it, you know what I'm saying? Because in Pittsburgh, like, when we started doing the podcasting not a huge thing now, but you have to branch off.
Comedy wasn't a huge thing, I mean? Like, we're comedians, and it was wild being in there, because everybody's like, well, you know, I'm in this, and I'm in that, and it's like, well,
what do you do?
We're comedians, yeah. We tell jokes, like.
You make beer? No. We had our names on a couple beers, though.
We've quote unquote brewed.
We got a couple photo ops with hops going into a device that I can't even spell. I don't even know what that is. But.
What is the fooder, the feuder, the fouder, the whatever? We put some green pellets in a tank. You know what I mean,
pretty much.
But I think that goes to show like the influence. Like everybody when they look at craft beer and they look at this industry, they look at the brewers and it's like, well, if you're a brewer, then you know. But it's like it takes thousands of people to make this industry happen, man. Like writers, reps, you got like, you know, people that do the land, that run the books, that like, you know, do the designs for the labels. I mean, there's so many different things, social media. I mean, there's so many different things and aspects that go into this brew industry. And like a lot of what we're trying to cultivate is like, yo, you don't have to brew beer to be a part of this industry, because we don't do any of that shit, but you can help push that culture and you can find opportunity in this. And that's the message, man. So like, you know, to have two comedians, we didn't get into this comedy shit going like, yo, we about to, we gonna make this.
Know anything about craft beer?
Nah, like shit. I started drinking craft beer around the same time that I got into comedy. I still don't know a lot about craft beer. I mean, I know a few more words than I did back then, but I still don't know. And I love this journey because we get to be those individuals that are kind of from the outside looking in, and it's still fun. We're not snobs. We're just kind of like, yo, and we push what we like, and we bring a lot of people in that same regard. So, I mean, shout out to wine enthusiasts for that recognition, man. I mean, it's been dope. I want to congratulate you, sir, on this journey, man. Shit.
Nah, congratulate you. Like, this is a team effort. Like, it's a real, you know what I mean? Like you said, there's no one person, there's no one job role that makes it work. Everybody plays a part. Everybody has, you know what I'm saying, impact, influence. Everybody has their group of people that they bring to the table. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes for anyone who's a small business, for anyone who has a venture that they, you know what I'm saying, are setting forth or on a journey with. Like, you got to have your support. And so we got to thank the support. That's what we really got to congratulate.
Yeah,
like the support, like the city, the folks who've been riding with us, you know what I mean? The people, because it was people who didn't understand what the fuck we was doing when we started doing it. I had friends who didn't understand what I was doing, why I was doing it. Like, not just podcasting, but podcasting about beer. And I'm like, they're like, you're not talking about Coronas, but like, it was all they know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now to see where it is, they're like, okay, we get it. We understand. Like, you can't just rely on the conglomerates. You can't just rely on the powers that be. You got to make your own journey. So
shout out to Epicast, man. Like early on, you know what I mean? Like having a team around.
They forced us into it. They hired us.
Having a team around that like puts in that work before it's a thing, and like has that shared goal, knowing that like, you know, we ain't doing like ain't nothing. This ain't shit. And then, you know, and just grinding and believing in it, like for so many years, even when it ain't shit, and nobody else is believing in it. Like that's
they had that vision, up front. So, and I know Buzzy gonna play this with like violins in the background, but again, we just so humble, man. Like that's coming off of the festival, then to have that as a follow up. Like, oh, you thought it was done? You know what I'm saying? You thought we was finished? Yeah, I mean, nah. So. But I think that's a perfect transition into our episode, too. You know what I mean? GOAT episodes. We're talking about people who affect an industry, like an industry being built around more than just what you see. I mean, just the visual. All right, there's beer. The beer industry, there's so much more to it. You know what I'm saying? And we're humbled to have, lucky to have Jess Hickey, director of Greensburg Craft Beer Week, in the building. Say what up to the people.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're fantastic.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
Great. I had some beer already, so we're good.
Oh,
yeah.
think we all came into this ready.
Yes, absolutely.
We've been celebrating for the past couple days. I've been finding every excuse to have a beer. And it's weird because I'm like, why do I have to find an excuse to have a beer? Like,
There
this
is
is what
no
I
excuse.
do.
This is just beer. You
Babe,
just
this is
drink
what I
it.
do.
We're sampling. This is a sample size.
I can't wait till they send me that magazine.
Studies.
I'm carrying that shit in my pocket. Like, but you talking about why I have another beer? What you mean? Let me. You got to have it folded so you can unfold it and flap that thing. Like, talking about, this is my 4th beer today. Let me show you.
I gotta represent the city out
You're
here.
gonna carry a Sharpie with you. Be like, do you want me to sign your arm?
I have asked several people, do they want me to sign something? And I was like, all right, let me chill.
So, first and foremost, let's pour something to drink here and tell us what we're drinking.
Bearing gifts.
You did come with. You
I
came.
did.
You came with some. So Westmoreland. Is that technically
The county, yeah.
Yeah. Some Westmoreland beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These specifically are more like Irwin North Huntington beers.
So what's North Huntington versus Westmoreland?
Where
North
is
Huntington
any of
is
this?
in Westmoreland. So
Okay.
Westmoreland is the county.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. Because
Yeah.
so Pittsburgh. So when you think Pittsburgh, typically it's Allegheny County. You know what I mean, like, and that's like, when everybody will argue where Pittsburgh ends and this, that, and the other. But if you in Allegheny County, you in fucking Pittsburgh. You know what I mean, but then you get these other counties, and I like to see the craft beer industry grow in those. Like you see Butler now has like a nice little trail of beers that you can kind of like hit up or whatever. And I think it's important to kind of like. Just kind of geographically kind of say, hey, like, yeah, you're in here in Allegheny, you're here in Butler, you're here in Westmoreland, so that you can make those plans to kind of go, all right, well, I'm going to step outside and get that journey on or whatever. So North Huntington, I feel like if you're in that county, now you can kind of hit up, and then you can even trail in it because Full Pint is kind of on that, like, you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah,
cusp.
I think Full Pint literally straddles the line.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, there's 16 breweries now in our county.
16?
Yeah. People don't know that there's 16 breweries in Westmoreland County. So there's going to be a trail coming
I thought it was
out
like 5
through.
or 6.
No, there's 16 of us.
See, that's
Not
how
us,
breweries
but
are
yeah.
too. Like you drive down the street and be like, oh shit, it's a
You guys got to come out. It's
Yeah.
not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, typically, I think the furthest I've gotten in there is Helltown.
Oh yeah, you're passing. Did you go to Helltown and Mount Pleasant?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mount Pleasant. Is that not Westmoreland?
No, it is.
Oh, it is.
But
All
then
right.
because there's Helltown in like Export.
Yeah,
yeah.
Export.
So-
Well, the old
Yeah.
Rivertown. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so
I got
the
my first
orig-
traffic ticket in Export coming from
fuck
Indiana.
is you doing an export. Man?
In a wreck. I got into a. You know what I
There's-
mean, so I went to IUP. So coming through down 22 or whatever. You know what I mean, like, and I was just like, I was watching. It was these billboards, and it kept saying hi. It was just this dude, and it said HIGH hi. And I kept driving. I was like, what the fuck? For like months coming, you know what I mean? Because I was working in Pittsburgh and going to school up at IUP. So I was driving back and forth, like down that road a bunch. And then the one day, like, it had more words. And it was like, it ended up being like some rehab, like I no longer get high on drugs or some shit.
Wait. What do you mean one day? So they changed
They
the
changed the
billboard, or you was
billboard.
high looking at the billboard?
I was both high and they changed it. And I was like reading that bitch like, wait, what's that? And then smacked into this fucking Lincoln. And I had this little Honda Civic and I smacked into the back of the Lincoln and the whole fucking front end of that Honda Civic. And I was only going like maybe like 15 miles an hour. Whole front end of that bitch was crumpled in, like crashed the motherfucker. There was a dent in the back of this fucking, it was a Lincoln Town car. So, I mean, that shit was a
It
tank.
was an old school sturdy John. They had a little, you know what I mean? They had something in that rumpus, bro. They had to look back at it like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I like my whole life was changed. They walked out, was like, all right, well, we going to keep going. I mean, I hope you work it out. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't even report somebody like that if I just got a little, you know what I'm saying, and then my man shit all fuck because he can't go nowhere.
nah, he
He's
done.
stuck. You gotta
Wrecked.
talk about it, and it's like
So yeah, that's my memories of Export. But that was Westmoreland County.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, I
three
got my first ticket in
breweries
Westmoreland
out
County.
there now. There's,
I don't know about
yeah,
that,
Helltown / Rivertown,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's Devout, and then there's Devout. They opened, I believe, last fall,
Ain't in
and
that
then
old
there's
church, are
Yellow Bridge is just right
Yellow
there too in
Bridge,
Delmont.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They brought some fire to the festival or whatever. They
I
paired
know,
up
I
with
took
Uber.
some home.
Yeah. I mean, I heard from some folks that it was pretty up there in the list of beers to do. You know what I mean?
We gotta
Yeah,
do
that was a good
list.
one.
We gotta have people carry like a a thing and just rank.
I think I think next year we got to have like a best of kind of.
It was. I was here. I was at Fresh Fest last year and this year. So this year it was like overwhelming how many beers there were. I probably had like, because I drive there myself, so it's like I don't drink that many, but it's like, what do I choose? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little
lot
much. We don't. Anybody that doesn't have we're like you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You should only have about like 10 if you're lucky.
That's a 9-hour festival.
Yeah,
I can't, but not for everybody's not going to be there 9 hours. Like we're there for more than 9 hours.
We've been that bitch for like 36.
So what is the Westmoreland scene like? I mean, there are a lot of breweries, obviously. I don't know how large that county is.
We're the largest county in the state.
Can we pour some beers on this podcast?
Oh, yeah, we could do that, too.
We've been drinking before you got here.
I mean, I'm thirsty to the motherfucker. I done had some water and some Gatorades. I recovered from last night, so now I need to get back.
So as we pour, choose.
Yeah, we'll
I don't care. I don't know. So you have New Crescent, which opened in, I believe, February in downtown Irwin. We have Quinn, that's been around for a few years, also in Irwin, and then we have obviously Fury, that's been around for a bit. In technically North Huntington, it's the same place. It doesn't matter.
New Crescent, what is this that we have?
That is Hydra. It's an IPA. It's a
Hydra. Hail Hydra.
It's a 6.5, I believe.
It's got some comic nerds out there.
In Irwin, like long time ago, there used to be a brewery called Crescent Brewery. It closed, I think, in the early 1900s. I'm going to botch this, and I'm sorry. So they opened this brewery as New Crescent. So a lot of their stuff they have like the old bottles from Crescent Brewery in their brewery, which is really cool to see. Like the glass bottles. And a lot of their stuff is based off of like, we just talked about this earlier too. Astrology, astronomy. Oh, shit. We had that discussion. Yeah. I can't remember whatever one it is.
I don't know. Astronomy is the real one. Astrology is the fake ass.
But from what we got explained, astrology has more science to it as far as whatever with equations and understanding.
I don't know what garbage conversations you were having.
It wasn't garbage. First of all,
astrology is garbage.
You shitting on the person.
It's all garbage.
No. So you're thinking zodiac signs.
That's what astrology is.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's a whole science behind it to make that's like the shit in the forefront. That's for mass appeal. From
all the newspaper or the dips.
Yeah, all the shit that they could put in all the grandma's magazines.
If you work hard enough, you might see some changes in your future.
Yeah, they say the most generic shit like, be nice to your boyfriend and he's gonna buy you something.
There's gonna be sunlight in your future. It's like,
but apparently it's some whole and they could figure out how the shits was aligned with you. I don't know. I don't believe in none of that shit. If we want to go back to a certain, I don't believe in none of that. All that shit's bullshit.
Well, I would like to say that I could see Ed on the other side of this motherfucking beer here, which is wild as hell. Like
it's clear.
It's clear as shit, and like it's like bubbling up. Is this bottle conditioner? Like that? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know when I crack the crowler.
Yeah, that's
they don't bottle or crowler yet. Or
what is
can.
This? Is this a Pilsner?
IPA.
What's an IPA? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's crispy.
You guys have been drinking too many hazies. You can't see through them.
Oh yeah, no, that's an IPA, man. Well, that's nice.
So what's because I know we had a discussion. I don't know if you were like trying to move off of IPAs or so. What's your favorite?
I drink mostly IPAs.
You drink mostly IPAs.
Yeah, it depends on the day. But mostly IPAs. Though I'm into like a little bit of like the sours as well. Not overly sour, but a little tart. So I do those as well a lot. And sometimes I just like a lager. Just I'm in the mood for just something different. I'll switch it up a bit. I will admit I'm not a big stout porter fan.
Really?
Just not my vibe.
Okay.
I will drink some, like a small sample, but just not my thing.
I mean, I've grown to respect everybody's preference. Like whatever you like is what you like. And that's why there are so many styles, so many variations. How'd you get into craft? Like how did that start?
So my first time I ever had craft beer was at North Country.
Okay.
In Slippery Rock, because I went to Slippery Rock for school.
Shout out to Meg.
I know. Well, she wasn't there then, but
no, I know. Yeah, no. I mean, she out there doing things.
But she family. She family. Yeah, we got it whenever we can. We gotta shout her out.
I mean, Bob was out there. 2 years ago? He came on the gas.
Bro, you think
that was right
2 years worth of cash?
That was right before PK Delay. It was that I was down in Miami, sick than a motherfucker, but. Yeah, he came through. I mean, we just did we just was up there for their festival.
Brewfest.
Yeah, the Brewfest up there.
I did that too. That's the first time I had like a lot of craft beer in one go. But I was never a beer drinker ever in college.
Around that way?
No, I'm from Irwin.
So how did you get up North Country?
School. I went to college up
did
there
you
for
go to
4 years.
Sugar
Yeah.
Rock?
So I was never
okay,
a
I
beer
see.
drinker
Yeah.
ever in college. I was always like a liquor drinker. Those
Yes,
dollar drinks.
was it
were
still
great.
dry up that bitch when you were up
No,
there?
it wasn't dry. Campus is dry. I think it's still dry now.
Yeah.
But town
Ain't
isn't.
no dry campus in America.
Well, you know what I mean. Like you can't. It's not supposed to have it.
They're all
Whatever.
technically dry campuses. Like,
No, some you can have it in your
Dry
dorms and they
in
won't.
spirit.
As long as you're 21, you're fine.
oh, for real?
Yeah, seriously.
I'd never experienced that.
I know some
I seen
specifically,
my
I'm not
mans
gonna
get
mention it,
busted
but-
with some alcohol in his room.
Yeah,
And everybody was mad at the RA. Like, why you ain't just take the alcohol?
Yeah,
Like,
just
I mean,
keep it moving.
telling everybody else for it.
Yeah, you just-
Yeah, but that's the first time I had it was at North Country, either a fruit bowl. So I started with like a fruity,
Okay.
you know, I went from vodka cranberries to a fruit bowl beer. So I don't think they call it fruit bowl anymore. So they would change it out, you know, periodically. But that's where I started. And then I went back home and Full Pint was another one I hit because it's 5 minutes from my house.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I kind of went from there.
So just gradually getting in. And
Yeah, gradually got it. I ended up hanging out with a lot of people who mountain bike. And they're just
they just go hand in hand.
yeah, so that's where I got into the IPAs because we were drinking IPAs a lot. So I hung out at it's a bike shop in Greensburg now called Flat Tire, and there's always beer in the fridge. So
Yeah.
it's the best non-bar in Greensburg.
So, I mean, what is it like? Do you brew? Like, how are you into the craft scene? How did you get into this
Go from
craft
that
beer
to
week?
directing.
Yeah,
like that's,
so a friend of mine, Jen, she worked for a distributor. And she still does. She changed companies a couple of times, and she came to me and my other friend Ashley, who owns that bike shop, to put on a craft beer week. At that time, my friend and I were putting on a beer mile. Have you guys heard of a beer mile?
No.
It's super fun. It's in Westmoreland County. You chug a beer, you run a quarter mile, you do it 4 times.
You chug a beer and then I'm sorry.
You run a quarter mile, and then you do it again.
Like
4
how
times.
long after you chug the beer?
Immediately.
you just chug in and you just get
You just go,
run.
yeah. So we do that every year. It's
What
for
is
charities
it
for a Rotary.
about white people in pain? Like y'all really love to like suffer while you're drinking. Like,
Look,
it's so,
the people
like,
who put on
y'all
the
be,
event,
like,
we don't
biking
do
and
it. We
running
just watch people
and
do it.
swimming and doing like, man, like when I drink,
Swimming
I like to
is
be
survival
comfortable.
technique.
Like I just like when I get to drinking, all the physical activity other than maybe walking to the like other side of the room is dead to me. Like I mean, like, but y'all be like active as hell with it. Like
When
Yeah,
I
I
used to
would-
run, I used to run because I ran the Pittsburgh Marathon and a couple times. And after every time training run, I would have a beer.
I mean, after
would
a
hit you real hard.
after a run,
yeah,
after a run, you do
dang.
whatever the fuck you want to do.
Like,
Celebratory beer, that makes all the sense in the world.
Well, we have that
But
too afterwards,
Yeah,
but
well,
they
no,
just
but
do
you-
it first. And then
yeah,
they
that
do
doesn't.
drink.
But you're telling me that you first of all you chug the beer.
yeah. So then
Yeah,
you're
literally,
bubbly
it's
in the
not
motherfucker.
open. You
And-
open it, chug it over your head, and then you run.
And then you run a quarter mile. Is this a race or?
Yeah.
See,
we
that's
have
what-
like timed versions, like where it's like you're really competing. So the first couple heats, we do it in heats, are competitive.
You're not doing shit in the heat after fucking beer.
no,
Like-
no, no, no. Heats,
in
like
heats.
different heats.
Like, yeah,
Like
No, no,
40
I'm
people.
talking about heats. I'm talking about like heats. I'm saying
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not doing that if you're drinking beer. Like I can't be competitive after I just chugged the beer.
We only have like 1 or 2 competitive heats. The rest of them were fun.
Yeah.
None of that sounds fun.
People think they're gonna.
It's very interesting because I was
not.
lost with
As
the
soon as
mountain
I-
biking.
As soon as I chug a beer, I'm like, so
I got a fart initially.
Yeah. I got a burp, and then I'm working the rest down into a fart, and then I'm thinking about my next beer. Like I got to run.
Well, your next beer is
and you're
gonna be
doing
once you
40.
get around the loop, you
Well,
drink
yeah,
another one.
Because there's
You get
another
another
quarter.
one.
You go
You
a
do
quarter
4
mile.
beers.
It's
in
as
1
if
mile.
you're trying to like punish yourself for drinking. Like you don't deserve this. Like I mean, it's almost like locking somebody up in a closet full of cigarettes and be like, smoke these until you, because I'm gonna be like, man, I don't know if I'm like.
I'm gonna
shit.
keep it funky though. I one time I drank it. I went to the gym. That was an intense ass workout. Like everything I lifted, I felt it in every muscle. That was, but I didn't do it again. I didn't like do a set of on the bench, a set of whatever, and bench press, and then chug a beer, and then do another set. Like I was drunk, and then I went and tried some
Yeah.
shit.
Well, I mean, people don't usually make it. You know, what I mean, they're gonna throw up
Okay,
the whole
well,
time.
then,
Oh, they throw up
yeah,
like
that sounds
the whole
like-
time. So we do it at the fairgrounds in Westmoreland County. So like it's on like dirt, so it doesn't really matter if they throw up. But
Yeah.
it's all the time. It happens. The competitive heat, they're usually a little bit better about it because they normally train. Like literally, they'll train for it. But we have a 5K in the morning, so if people want to be like really physical and get their exercise in, they can do the 5K and then they'll come and do the beer mount. We have food trucks and music and stuff afterwards. So it's really fun.
Completed? Have you done?
No.
No?
The people who actually put on the race, we don't do the event. Like, we're not, we know better.
So you don't understand it either.
You know,
No, I don't wanna do it.
So you're putting it together like this don't even make no fucking sense.
No, I don't. I drink the entire day, but I don't do the event.
Oh. You see the sign up list like,
We're the ones that can
whoa.
like take all the pictures and the video and like watch people and cheer them on. It's fun because there's a relay, so people can do it as a relay. So you only do one loop and everyone dresses up and it's really fun. It's
you should
cold.
have a calendar of like, the beer run, like the 12, like
I'd like to see this.
yeah, like
It's
every
fun.
mon't you'll
It's
see
in
another
March.
victim that like didn't
Can
somebody
you
like
just
passed
have
out in
us
the
sit in a
grass.
little
Like,
booth like we're color
You guys can
commentators?
comment.
and
Oh my god! Please
And
do
we got
it.
Bob coming around the corner, coming strong. He's
Yeah.
we had
And
hope for
Bob
him.
had asparagus.
Well, part of it is like it's in March, so it's still pretty cold, and sometimes
we got layers
We
No,
gonna
no,
be,
no, I'm
we
not
can
talking
be
about
in
that.
a booth
with a space heater
and
we,
beer.
we'll get you like a little heated
We
tent.
will be doing it right.
But no, what I'm
and
saying
talk
is
about
like
all the people doing it wrong.
The runners, like there's been years where it's been really muddy and it's just everyone's covered in mud.
yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, no,
But that's how
it
kinda
sounds like a
started.
good time to watch, and I would love to
Yes.
come by
Yes.
and watch that shit.
I couldn't run
we
to
use
the
craft beer
bathroom
too,
if
so
I
we
got
don't-
too much. I would just piss myself
Yeah.
right here. If I had to sprint to the bathroom, that's it.
Yeah, we always use.
This is
I mean,
wasting
like
a
we've
pair of
had
jeans
Rivertown.
today.
I think 3 of the 4 years we've done it. If we do it in March, it'll be 5 years.
And this is not so. This is what you were doing prior to being the director of craft beer. So this
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is how you got how you got approached.
Yeah, so
Okay.
a friend of mine, she approached me, and or me and my friend Ashley, who owns the bike shop. Hey, do you want to do a craft beer week? We initially said no, we don't want to do that. The bike shop was just opening. We had other events on our deck. We did triathlons, marathons, like
Okay, so
put
you've
them
been-
on, producing them. So I've been producing events for a few
coordination
years.
for quite some
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I do other web and graphic design and stuff like that too. So that was part of it. So we were like, we don't have time. And then the next year, she came back at us, and I said, okay, I'll do it. The bike shop was doing well, so I took it on, and that's kind of how it happened. Yeah. But yeah, that's how it started, and yeah, this is our 3rd year this year. So
nice.
So in the events, do you try to incorporate some physical, like in the craft beer week, or
I host 3 events out of the week personally, or partnered with somebody, and then all the other events obviously are hosted by other people. We have a couple physical events. We have a pub run where they run, and then afterwards they get beer. We have a trike and chug, which is super fun.
Trike and chug.
Trike and chug. It's our Rotary of Westmoreland that does it. Yeah, tricycle, adult-sized tricycles. So same situation as Beer Mile. You chug a beer. You get on a tricycle, you do a course, you get off the tricycle, and as you're getting off, your team members, because a relay, will take your knee pads, your elbow pads, helmet off, and put on the next person while that person's chugging their beer. Then they do the loop.
well, your teammates are like a pit stop. They're,
They're
They're disrobing you, then putting it on someone else.
It's-
I would love to have
It's
somebody.
so
just
fun.
you like,
Put my knee
I got the
back.
elbows, get the knees.
Well, you're chugging your beer. As they're putting it on you, you're chugging your beer.
Yeah.
So
That's
last
even better.
year,
Yeah.
I by accident got put on a team. I just
Ain't
went to
nobody-
like.
You
guys,
witnessed,
no.
You're the director.
Yeah.
You know, by accident. All
I
that
went
shit
to
runs
the-
by you.
No, guys. Okay.
Well, I went to go and go to the event, take some pictures, all that kind of stuff. And the bike shop because they're a bike shop, they're like, we're going to do a team. And there was another company that had a team, and one of their people couldn't do it. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm
I
in.
know all the rules.
And-
Yeah, twist my arm.
And
you know.
it'd be like, I didn't have training at Beer Mile to be able to chug the beer. So, but I did okay.
I mean, I can see the bike. Yeah, I mean, like doing a little, like, and chugging, and then not chugging again, and doing another. Like, see, I could see that. Like,
Yeah, like
doing
you're
one
a
chug,
relay.
one
Yeah.
little, like, and then getting the fuck off. Like,
Is
Yeah, that
that
one's
technically
super fun.
drinking and driving? Or can a
We're not on
tricycle
the
be on
road.
the road?
well,
We're
I
not
guess
on the
as long
road.
as you're not on the open roads, because you can get a biking
Yeah, you
while
can.
like under the influence or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we have some close affiliates of ours that have have run into that issue. So. Yeah, I mean, like, but I guess it's a closed course, so like, do not try this at home. You get like the little helmets and shit. Everybody's like,
everyone's like safety, and then it's at a local bar restaurant, so it's on their property, so it's not out on the street.
What are the beer parameters in this? Like, what? Because I'm sure you either cap the ABV or there's a floor for ABV with that.
For
How does
that
work?
one, I don't know because I don't run that one, so it's just whatever they choose. What?
I'm sorry. I just randomly like saw his Hey Arnold dad at him. Like, this motherfucker's out here low key stunting.
I didn't even notice that.
It's a subtle ass flex. It's a very,
next to Doug, it is my favorite cartoon.
It's a subtle flex, man.
But yeah, so how do they do that with the parameters of beer with the chugging?
For that one, I'm not sure. I believe they're working with East End. On that event, so I'm not sure.
Everyone's chugging the same.
The same beer.
And typically, like with that, you can make it so that they're chugging like acceptable amounts of beer.
Yeah, and they're not going to be chugging like a super heavy beer for that.
Yeah.
Just because one, that's harder to chug in general.
Truth.
And you want it to be fun. You don't want people.
You don't want people to die.
But you know what it is though, because even with the most like random competition where there's no real, I don't know if there's a trophy or something that comes with winning, but there's always somebody who gets really, really competitive, and then they pick out something really small to be like that's not fair. Like I had a 7%, he was only drinking a 5.5.
Yeah, that's why it's all the same beer. All the same beer. Yeah, and if you drink beforehand, obviously, like you're at like an event, so you can drink beforehand. If you drank too much, too bad. Like, you know.
We ain't got any control over what you had before you came here. Those motherfuckers, for some reason, that pregame coming into the fucking Fresh Fest, I was like, why the fuck would you like have anything beforehand? I mean, like this shit. Yeah, granted, even if you get the general admission, it comes in
food, you should
at
not
5. But yeah, I mean, like it's still like that's not. But you can't hold. All we can do is once you get to a visible point, just be like, yeah, nah, bro. I mean, you got to take that elsewhere.
Yeah. Luckily, we haven't had too many issues with that at any of our events.
So what's the insurance like that? Like, no, I mean, not the specifics or whatever, but is that something that you have to like think of like throughout, like, because it's because like with physical activity and it being like a week or whatever, like craft beer week with events or whatever, because your name is on that, do you have to get like insurance and all these like things like to cover the whole, like a blanket thing, or is it individual like establishments or whatever? So
it's individual establishments for the specific events. They kind of take care of their own thing. I have insurance like for as many events as I want for the entire year. Thank God I have good insurance. I was like business insurance like that. Because I'm only hosting 3, and only one of them is really like a ticketed event. Like, like you're buying a ticket, you get your tasting glass and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I only have one of those. Everything else is, sort of. But yeah, it's all individual.
So how do you put together an entire week? Because with Fresh Fest, last year it was a festival, and then this year it expanded. So, there was a symposium, and there's a brunch afterwards. There's all these moving parts, getting other people involved, because you don't want to have your hands on, the ins and outs of every event specifically. Like you want to kind of know what's going on, but to be coordinating every event, and that was in a 3-day, well, we expanded it to 4 because Thursday we had the Carmine, so 4-day period, but you're doing an entire week. Like how do you I mean, for me, like I make sure I check in with all the people who are doing the events and be like, hey, or if somebody doesn't have a brewery, I'll try and pair them with a brewery. Or if they don't know what they're going to do, like I have a list of events I would love to happen during the week. So I'll be like, hey, what about this? Does this work for you? And try to pair it up accordingly. I mean, for those events, I don't have a lot of say unless they ask my opinion on it. That's all them on what they want to do. I just ask that it's, creative or different or trying to bring something new to the table. For my events specifically, I have 2 signature events this year. We have our Homebrew and Chill, which is our homebrew competition. Our first year, we had no signature events, and people were asking us if we were going to do something for homebrewers. And at that year, I didn't want to take on the responsibility of having an event like that. But last year we did, and we had about 30 homebrewers that came out and competed, and we had a whole bunch of people, and we host that at All Saints Brewery. They're really great to us, letting us use their back patio. We do live music, food trucks, the whole shebang, and we sell about 300 tickets for that. And then we do our other signature event is Brewers Double Dare. She has no Double Dare from like Nickelodeon. Y'all got slime?
Yeah. So it's super fun.
Is it beer?
No, I'm not gonna waste
beer slime.
beer.
I mean,
but Yeah, so that one's super fun. We partner with my friend of mine, Adam, who owns Moxie Events. He has photo booths and he's a DJ. And so he is our MC for the entire event. So it's literally like Double Dare. So we have 6 teams. Well, except for that. We have 6 teams of brewers that compete. There's two to a team. And they just do little games and answer questions. And then the top 2 teams at the end run the obstacle course. And they, get all messy the entire time. They're drinking beer, of course, the entire time as well to include more of the beer aspect. But it's just a spectator event where people can come out and have a good time and watch all of the brewers get a little messy. And it's kind of our end of, it's technically the day after Craft Beer Week is over. It's the 29th. It's just a way for the brewers to kind of relax and
you gotta have a little brew wrap up.
They do that. I go on vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't go to the double? You don't
No,
slime?
I know.
You
I
don't
work
pull
Double
the
Dare.
cord for the slime?
Oh no, I dump it on them. But after that, I go on vacation.
So what are we drinking next?
Do you want to do some Quinn?
It's your journey.
I don't-
You got Westmoreland. First of all, I've Googled several times. I don't know where Westmoreland County is.
It's literally
New Ken.
It's not.
Isn't New Ken Westmoreland County?
Yeah.
Yeah, New Ken.
Oh, that blue bridge that leads to.
Yeah, New Ken.
It looks like it's going
Yeah,
to lead.
it's literally the county next to Allegheny
Yeah,
County.
it's just New Ken.
We're next to you, east.
that next so you the turnpike. Whenever you go from Monroeville, you go in.
So I would have not guessed that Westmoreland County was east. To be honest,
You know what's crazy though? How the fuck how does Monroeville in between Irwin and New Kensington
See, when you
exist?
start
And
trying to
they're
piece
both
this map together, and
Westmoreland County, right?
You have to look on like a real map.
That's
don't
wild
make
as
fucking
shit.
sense,
That's right
man.
though. On the turnpike, it goes New Ken, Monroeville, and then Irwin, the exits. But Irwin and New Ken are Westmoreland
it says
County,
go-
Yeah.
and
Are you
Monroeville is
coming-
Allegheny County.
Are you talking about coming from Beaver?
So if you're coming down the turnpike, coming from where is that? Where is that going? Is that Ohio? Coming from Ohio? No, you're not coming from Ohio. Coming from Philly.
Okay, so you're coming from east.
Are you sure you're not looking at New Stanton?
I'm looking at New.
Because
So
that's
New,
on the
New
turnpike
Ken.
before Irwin.
New Ken.
I'm gonna open it.
Is that New Ken? Not New Ken. Harmerville or whatever the fuck. That's probably what the Harmer exit or whatever. Is that? And then Monroeville, and then fucking whatever, man. We would be here all day.
Yeah, we will, because nobody knows shit about where they are.
Nah, man.
That's why that shit was so important on the phones. Because I couldn't tell you nothing about. I don't know where I am on the map right now. I know that I'm around the corner from my house. I'm technically in
I will
Pittsburgh.
Google some shit, and whatever Google will tell me is the fastest way, because Google knows where the accents are. and
We're
shit.
like Westmoreland County is like. I mean, from here to Irwin, well, not here. For me to get downtown from Irwin, it's 11 or 12 miles, so it's not far.
Yeah, no, I just came from.
Yeah.
I just came from Irwin.
Do you get a lot of at the craft beer week?
So what is this?
That's a Scotch ale from Quinn Brewing.
Yeah, so this is
Scotch ale?
Something different
Okay.
for you guys.
Thank you. Do you get a lot of Pittsburgh inhabitants out? On that
We
thing?
get some for some of our events. I think the Tunnel Monster gets a lot of people from wanting to come out this way.
The
go
Tunnel
through.
Monster.
Oh
Squirrel
no,
Hill.
the
Squirrel
being
Tunnel.
scared
Man,
of the
fuck Squirrel Hill Tunnel, man. Fuck that.
Yo, if
fucking
you
tunnel.
gonna not go all the way to Westmoreland County because of a tunnel in this, that's
Man,
crazy.
that-
Hey, we got some
yeah.
good breweries, yeah.
It
But
is.
yeah, we do get some for sure, and I know some of our home brewers for Homebrew and Chill, our signature event, are from like the Pittsburgh area. So we definitely get some out here. It'd be cool if we got more. I'm not specifically focused on it, but
Oh, that's a good ass Scotch ale. So this is it was like is Arrogant Bastard a Scotch ale? I believe so. Hey Buzzy.
Yeah, we gotta go to the
Hey
encyclopedia.
Buzzy. Isn't Arrogant Bastard a Scotch ale?
Who?
Arrogant Bastard? Not arrogant, but what's the other bastard?
Strong ale. I don't know.
What's the other bastard?
Oh,
There's
we
Arrogant-
stumped Buzzy. Thank
There's
you.
Arrogant
Thank you.
Bastard,
You
and then
have
there's
stumped Buzzy.
there's the Stone one, and then there's the other dip.
There's like 10 different bastards.
All right, well then I don't fucking know, but I know the Scotch ale. Like one
Inglorious bastard.
of the bastards is a Scotch ale, and this is fucking delicious. Like,
yeah, it's an 8%.
8%.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
Fourth
bad.
and Clyde by
Scotch.
Quinn Brewing. It's an Irwin.
Quinn.
They've been around for a few years.
What is a Scotch ale? See, now we're getting into.
Don't look at
I'm just
me.
like, I don't know either. Shit, but it's fucking delicious. It's malty. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which we don't see as much, I feel like, in the industry lately. It's a lot of like hazies or IPA. We don't see a lot of that
Malt
malty
forward.
beer.
Yeah. It's
Quinn
all
definitely
hops,
has some of
juice.
that with some of their beers. So it makes it a little bit different.
Oh, go ahead.
Nope, that was it.
I was gonna ask, like, do you all think that's because the consumer is younger and like I don't know, because I'm wondering. I've been really thinking a lot about craft and like how young is the craft beer consumer? You know what I mean? Like, what is the age demographic that they target? Because when I go into the breweries, it's a young, hip, you know what I mean, whatever, but that's aside from the craftsmanship of the beer too. Like, I don't know if you could trust young people with like
We're
really
not that old.
respecting. I'm old as fuck. I've accepted that. But like
dirty
I'm not.
bastard.
Okay.
Is that what it is?
He was
The
gonna get-
ODB. So we
But like
don't-
young people with really respecting what goes into making a product great. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like younger people are more about experience. And there's a bunch of studies like when you in management positions, they tell you how to manage like different age demographics, and younger people are more about experience. That's why they leave jobs quicker.
Yeah.
And all that. So more quickly rather. So craft seems like it's in a weird space where it's like, all right, we want to make something really good, but then we have to create something with an experience that people will enjoy. And like this with the malty, all the shit that goes into making a Scotch ale, like motherfuckers really just kind of be wanting IPAs that feel like young people. So it's like,
I think part of that is also like that's what people are making. You know what I mean? Like it is like, you go in a brewery and half the board's IPAs. So
'cause that's what's been selling.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
that
I'm
is what's
saying.
selling.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
so it's like, yeah. But I think that was just because of who was drinking it and who was dominating like those taste buds, and it was like, whatever. I think that moving forward, like you have to bring on different drinkers, and people have different like that, like because IPAs dominated so much, it turned so many people. So many people say that they don't drink beer because they think it tastes like Budweiser, and they don't drink craft beer because they think it tastes like IPAs. And those are the two beers. It's either an IPA or a Budweiser.
Yeah.
And it's like, this shit could taste like whatever the fuck.
I guess
And like,
beers
and I
do
think,
have flagship style.
yeah, I mean, so I think that like, I think that what like was dope now is that like people are starting to be like, all right, well, beer could be whatever it is you want. We made it big as fuck. We made it light as fuck. We did all these or whatever. Like we've done it all. We've done all the shit. Now I think we're getting like we got to get into it. Like I think we're getting to a place where people are like, all right, so what do you like to drink? You know what I mean? Like let's let all these platitudes, all this like, well, this is what the and this and the other. It's like people are just like, all right. Because like you can't survive off of the demographic that we've had thus far. You know what I mean? Like it's plateauing. You're only going to bring so many people in, and it's going to die if we don't like diversify and whatnot. I mean,
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's, with the beer, like, IPA has been so heavy. Well, these kind of beers like a Scotch ale or, even like a lager have been around for so long that some of those people who've only been drinking IPA since they started drinking craft beer, they don't even know those exist or have tried it.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, how about let's go back almost old school and see what would happen if some of these newer breweries that are, known for IPAs try something like that, what would happen? And bringing it out to that demographic, because I mean they're good. It's just that it's not as well known anymore. But that's what they started on.
So with Greensburg Craft Beer Week, like, do you look at? I mean, how do you personally plan for like the demographic that'll come out? Do you know who's going to come out? Is it just like beer aficionados? Is it people that are trying to venture in and don't have much knowledge about, like, how do you, I mean, because you have these unique events that are physically inclined, and I feel like those will bring out people just for the spectacle of
Funness,
such. But then it is focused on beer. So like, how do you go about planning? All right, so who are we trying to draw to this week?
Yeah, I mean, we do focus a lot on Westmoreland County beers, and then we do have like, East End, and then in Indiana, we have Levity and Noblestein that are big players as well.
Shout out to Levity and Noblestein.
I know, right? And they, we make sure we focus a lot on that. But we do have some of the big beers there. We still have a Dogfish takeover, and we have a Platform takeover, because those do bring out some people who are not used to a local beer. They know the name, so they'll come out for that. But our demographics are a little bit all over the board.
Okay.
Greensburg right now, I know we're like Westmoreland County is the oldest county in the state, which we know. We know
Wait,
that.
Westmoreland County is the oldest county in
Like
the state?
the
Everybody
median
in
age
PA
is the
got
oldest.
a claim to some shit.
Yeah.
Y'all be
I know,
killing
right?
me with that shit.
Well, no, I'm saying that as in like, yes,
we
it's
got
that,
the most
but we're
deer
not that.
in America.
We got the most blades of grass
But I-
east of the Mississippi.
Indiana is like like Christmas tree capital of the world.
Get
and
the
shit.
fuck
fun
out
one.
of
I
here.
promise you, that's what I
Well,
like. I was like,
It ain't
oh.
but 7 people that live in Indiana County.
and there's for every one person in Indiana County, there's apparently like 1,000 trees. They're Christmas trees. I don't know.
Yeah, the Christmas tree, like the natural Christmas tree spots be popping up in the weirdest places. You're like, I would not buy a tree from this area. Where are y'all getting these trees? I don't even grocery shop over here. Like, I'm not buying a
Indiana's where
whole.
they're getting the trees from Indiana. They'll bring them over. No, but I mean, we say that because, like, even though that is the case, and there's a movement right now to change that because obviously tax base is dying and things like that makes the county. Eventually it's going to hurt the county. It is already, you know.
Be the
So
oldest?
well, yeah, because then your tax base
You're
goes
talking
away.
about age wise.
Oh.
Yeah, age wise.
Oh, I thought you meant it was
Yeah.
like the
It's like
first.
the first type. Okay.
No.
Okay, now I see. That ain't even some shit to brag on. I'm like, I thought you was flexing like we was here first.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
It's like
that's
literally
why I
like
got
we was born
confused.
first.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying that as like, yes, we are that, but there's a lot of cool things still happening.
Yeah.
And there's this underbelly of young people trying to do things and wanting
So-
to bring cool things in.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing that I noticed about. So, like, I live in Beaver County or whatever, and it's a dry town, and it's old as fuck. And the thing that I found is like it's dry. Beaver is a dry town, and we did this this like kind of like crawl with like these business crawls or whatever. These ladies put this together, and like we coordinated the beer for it, and we brought down 3 breweries to kind of like hand out beer on the street. It was the first time that you saw like beer being served, like on this street, like out in the open. And what I saw was a bunch of like people who basically all their parents had died. And they moved into the houses and they're like looking for shit to do. And they were like,
exactly.
yo, man, like I'm kind of like sick of this being like, I got to drive outside of the county to get a good beer. You know what I mean? Like, so like what happens is as that population starts to die off, it naturally just becomes younger.
Yeah.
And that younger generation is like, well, I don't know why they did it this way, but fuck that. Like, you know what I mean? And it starts to change as a result of that. And I think that some of the movements that are happening, I think people need to be aware that like some of it you just got to wait it out and you got to like kind of just hit the folks as they're coming. It's naturally going to be younger at some point. You know what I mean? Like that transition. And if you hit those younger folks as they're transitioning in and then give them something to do, then there'll be a signal to the other folks so that they're not just coming in as they're dying off. They're actually coming in
To live
because
there.
it's to live there
Yeah.
and not just like, oh, I'm gonna just wait until my mom dies and like I'm gonna just move into that house. They might just be like, yo, like that maybe that's a dope place to live now that they got dope ass craft beer weeks in like 17 breweries and shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's where the actual city is. Like, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
it's getting younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like and
absolutely.
actually for Pittsburgh, the city itself, like the concentration of wealth is getting younger. And that's a shock for the city. Like, all right, it ain't just controlled by these older inhabitants of these neighborhoods. Like, it's younger people come because they have the tech jobs and shit here. So they like, yeah, we come in making, I'm 23, but I'm making 85K. I'm making, you know what I mean? As an Uber intern, they was making like 70K. Like, you ain't even on
Where do
full
you get
time.
one of those jobs?
I don't even know what
I
an
got the
Uber
wrong
intern
degree.
is. Like, the fuck is you interning? I guess they was making the
I made
driverless
nothing as an
cars that-
intern.
look, man, look.
But yeah, I mean, kind of going off what Dave said with the younger people, like in Greensburg, not only do I run Craft Beer Week, but I run what's called the Downtown Greensburg Project. So I promote what's going on in town. I host other events. I host night markets. I host yoga on top of a parking garage at night or on Sunset. We do different stuff like that and advocate basically for that area and showing like, hey, there's more to here than just empty buildings. We're going through a slight resurgence right now and some redevelopment where buildings are getting purchased and money's being put in. And it's really great to see. And a lot of what's going on is hopefully going to bring even more young people in. So, you know, we're having a brewery that's going to be opening in a few weeks. I don't have any of their beer, unfortunately, right in downtown Greensburg. And, you know, even that, I mean, it's a known fact, basically, that bringing a brewery in a downtown area
Well,
helps resurge it. So, you know, that's... Oh, give me that one.
owners.
This blueberry.
I like that
blueberry
one.
blazer.
She decided to break
That
her
blueberry blazer
Hey, I already
is
had a beer.
fire.
Shout out to Knotsland. This is
Yeah.
Knotsland, right?
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
got one of those bow ties. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be at the little 40 and the 40 party with a Knotsland
Oh,
Fury
you bought the
collab.
Fury? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one. We did the family photo shoot. We had a Knotsland. We all had Knotsland.
Yeah.
bow ties.
That was a real bad pour.
That was not,
Just
Yes,
saying.
it was. Yes, it was. Thank you for calling it out. I didn't want to be the bad guy. Yeah, I mean,
It's all right. I'll do it.
Nice.
Yeah, but I think with that kind of resurgence, like that's why we kind of, also started Craft Beer Week. Was there was a lot of bars that started having a lot of craft beer, whether it was in cans or on tap. They started having it and having a lot of locals, and that was part of the reason why we did it. Was, hey, let's highlight this. I don't want to. I'm trying to think if I want to say it or not. We did get a bit of shit from Pittsburgh and other areas saying, why are they doing it? Well, guess what? We're the only one around now. So
Doing what? The craft beer week? Why
because
not?
we're exactly, why not?
who feels
fuck?
like they have
The monopoly
Copyright on
Craft
weeks,
Beer Week.
like,
We do get that, and we get the whole like, Westmoreland County sort of thing. But I don't think people realize like what is going on.
I
and
feel
that
like
there is,
if you're gonna do, I feel like if you have more than 6 breweries, you can do a craft beer week.
yeah, we've had
16
6
in
for
this.
more than for more than
Like,
3
I mean,
years,
as long as you
know?
got a brewery a day that you can showcase,
yeah.
you gotta. I mean, I can't see Beaver County doing a craft beer week because we have no craft breweries.
Yeah.
But like Greensburg, why wouldn't you? Like, because that you're showcasing your town, your area, your place. Like, and that's what craft beer is. Craft beer is about invigorating that local economy. I mean, like, so whatever it is that you're doing to invigorate that, like, if you're knocking that, you don't understand what this is all about.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
And that's why it's part of, we wanted to build that community a little bit more than it was. Even now, like it's, when this new brewery opens soon, Invisible Man Brewing, a few weeks, I tried to bring their beer. It wasn't ready yet. Sorry. But, they've had tastings. They were announced last year during Craft Beer Week that they were opening. And, they had a couple tastings then when they had, their small system, and it was awesome. So even having another one in the, city limits is going to be helpful and be great, just as walkability and bringing a younger demographic in town all the time, and that's kind of part of the reason why we did it. Was let's bring more young people out. Let's bring more community. That's my big thing, is building community. And that's why I do the Downtown Greensburg Project, why we do Craft Beer Week, why we do a lot with those whole things.
so, before we I do want to ask, what is your favorite form of potato?
Favorite form of potato?
Son of a
Favorite form of
bitch.
potato, man.
He keeps sneaking that in.
I know.
I hate that.
I'm gonna keep doing it. It's
I
always
don't
a good one.
know.
So, I mean, there's no wrong answer. What's
You
your
don't
favorite
have to
form?
answer that shit.
But if
do.
it was a French fry, like what kind of French fry is
Well,
it?
no, is French fry your favorite form of potato? You know what I mean? Baked, mashed, there's different types of fries. There's there's pancakes. Like, what's your favorite form?
Oh, probably a fry.
A fry? French
Oh, yeah,
fry?
French
Okay, then
fries,
what's
for
your
sure.
favorite kind of fry?
Probably fresh cut or
Like the hand cut?
hand cut or waffle,
waffle.
which you don't see that often. But
Who does the best waffle fries?
I don't even know because I haven't had them in forever.
Why you adding all this?
Man, I'm just asking because maybe I want a good waffle fry. Shit, I love potatoes. Like, yeah,
haven't had a waffle fry in a long
Local
time.
potatoes.
Yeah, I mean, waffle
Yeah.
fries. I ain't mad at that. I mean,
They're good.
But a good, be a hand cut.
That's the best.
I like a good ass waffle fry with cheese.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you got the right dipping fry, because the waffle is good for the dipping, because it'll get, I mean,
Oh, yeah, it'll get
a
all the-
healthy
That's why I
amount.
like it with the cheese. See, with the regular fry, you get that weird point of cheese, like it's a pen and shit, and it starts dripping off that waffle.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get a little bit of a scoop and a.
Yeah, the whole you can get the whole waffle. Like with a regular fry, you only get half the fry, and then you got to wonder if you gonna take that whole fry in,
Or
or
am I
you gonna
double
double
bag?
dip it in, or you I mean,
Or do you mix the cheese and the ketchup? Like you not mix in the thing, but you dip in the ketchup, then dip in the cheese.
Nah,
vice
that's kind of
versa.
go with that chug and run.
What?
Yeah.
That's so good.
That sound like motherfuckers do that.
If
chug
I'm
and run.
if I got my own shit, or what, I don't. I mean, but like typically, I just get one sauce. I'm a one sauce dude.
yeah,
and,
I'm never
I
double
mean,
sauced
like,
it on the fry.
Yeah, not on the fry. Like,
What
yeah.
I will do is I will promise myself I don't eat ketchup on fries at all.
Yeah, no, I've
But,
way gone past ketchup. That
Yeah,
was-
my ketchup for fries is barbecue sauce. Like if I
Do a lot of ranch too.
do a lot of
I'm a ranch. That's my
the
default.
French fry?
Yeah.
On French
oh
fries
my God,
is ranch. Now, see if I can get cheese.
On the French
cheese
fries?
is a good
Yeah.
cheese dip is my go to. If I can get it, it is hard to get a good cheese dip. But ranch, it's hard to fuck up ranch. I mean, some people do. Don't get me wrong, but a good ranch on a fry. I mean, I ain't mad at that.
I've never not on just a fry. I mean, I've had fries on salad because I live in Pittsburgh, but like I've never thought to just dip a fry
Really?
in ranch.
So barbecue sauce is your go to.
That's my go-to. That's my go-to.
That must be hard to get around though. I mean, like not a lot of places got good barbecue sauce.
You know what? I mean,
You don't need it to be like.
typically when you're out and you're getting the fry, like the fry is a side. So I got
so
the
you ain't
main.
even.
So I'm just
you
dipping
ain't
it
even-
as
yeah,
a,
that's
you know
just
what I
to
mean?
keep it moving. You don't.
I'm
need
only
it to
eating
be,
the fries to elongate my experience with the burger. Or
Yeah,
whatever else,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
You don't need to be on brisket. You just need
Right, I
to
just
keep
said,
it moving.
boop.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Word.
Awesome.
Sorry, Buzzy's telling us about time. I'm looking over there. So I had a question, and then I forgot it. And then I belched. That's nasty.
She's
We got to get into the last. We got to get into the last before we go. The Coco.
Yeah, what is
Couture.
this? Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
The Coco Couture.
Oh, the Coco Couture.
We have this one too if you want
Oh,
to
we
try
have
it.
those?
This is a
We just everywhere.
pale ale, I believe. I'm gonna double check that. But yeah,
From whom?
Quinn. Oh no, it's a session IPA. I lied. Sorry.
Session I. Oh,
At a 4.5. But that one's delicious too.
It's Coco Couture. Yeah, this is one of the collaborations from the fest through Knotsland, and it was dope. I was just sitting out there with them, and they were saying how like they sat with the ladies from Knotsland, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't drink beer," and they're like, "All right, cool." So then like they brought like 5 like different like gosas or whatever, and they were like, "Yeah, we drink all of these." You know what I mean? And like that's the
beauty of the fest.
That's the beauty of the fest is like introducing folks to new things. And then they actually they brewed this up because they liked chocolate and things of that nature or whatever. And they said that like they drank like hella this like
once you win, you
the
win.
stout. Yeah, I mean, so
Once
it's like
you win, you win.
you started out not drinking beer, you got introduced to gosas, and now they're stout ladies as well. So I mean that's
on like two ends of the spectrum.
two ends of the
really.
spectrum.
Like,
You know what I mean? Like, and they went from I don't drink beer to 3 months later we got 2 beers on 2 opposite ends of the spectrum on tap that we both drink. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing to drink as well. And shout out to Fury because they are killing the game with this.
Yeah, no, exploration, education, like those are two, they're very much important to what we do with Fresh Fest. And then with Green, if you had to do a promo or like a
30
an
second
elevator speech of sorts
that's
for
what it's called, the
Greensburg,
elevator
like
speech.
what would you say? Like what if someone's coming to the Greensburg Craft Beer Week, what are they going to take away?
I think they're going to take away that, we're a community that's coming together to really highlight, our craft beer scene in the area. I think we have about 15 or 16 breweries that are involved this year from Westmoreland, Indiana, and obviously a couple others outlying. And you're really just going to get a fun experience trying different events and really to try different ones. We have everything from bacon and beer tasting, sushi and beer pairing, to like the fun ones like the Trike and Chug or, we even have a kickoff event that has blues music and barbecue with our cultural trust. So, we have something for everybody really. So
Variety. And that's
we have
important.
a lot of variety, which was my goal. I keep saying my goal. Like I have a lot of interns, so
Go
it's
ahead,
our goal.
run with
and
that.
My
Yeah.
committee that I bounce ideas off of. But we have a lot of. We really want people to try different things. So that's why we try to bring different events. We don't want the same old, or the same event every single night.
And I think that's been one of the things that anchor craft beer is the variety, the multitude of events that you can insert craft beer into.
Yes.
Like, I mean, you could really put it with anything. Like shit, you
Yeah.
could run what is that? Y'all doing a decathlon? I don't know what the fuck y'all
No,
doing.
tricycle. Oh, are you talking about
Y'all
beer
doing
mount?
everything. I mean, you're doing the beer run, you're doing the bike, you're mountain biking with craft. Like you can put it alongside anything.
Yeah.
And even if it's not at the forefront of the event, it will, make that event
Yeah,
better.
we even have we're doing an event with a salon that's just blow out some beer, so you can go and get your hair done
Oh, what?
and taste New
James and them
Crescent.
shoulda-
So just like little things. So it's bringing in it's bringing in a different demographic
They should have made a beer called the Blowout.
Yeah.
Shit.
next year.
Well,
But yeah, it's bringing a different demographic to try beer, you know, so that's why we try to do it at different locations. Maybe we're not at your typical craft beer bar, but, you know, we're going to try and have an event because we want to bring your normal customer and have them give it a try. You know, it's not about getting a ton of people at an event sometimes. It's about getting the people who have never tried it before to give it a try and get them to be a craft beer lover. So that's kind of like, you know, the underlying sort of thing that we try to do.
So for the people who want to familiarize themselves with Greensburg Craft Beer Week and maybe want to follow you, let them know where they can find you.
You can find us on Facebook, obviously, Instagram and Twitter on Greensburg CBW is our little handle. Also, GreensburgCraftBeerWeek.com has the listing of all of our events going on at the moment for the week. We're going to have a few more that aren't on there yet. And then the week is September 20th to the 28th, though we do have a couple events. I think we have a can release the day before at Yellow Bridge. And then we have our Double Dare, Brewers Double Dare is the day after. The 29th.
So it's a 9-day week.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, let the people know where they can find us.
And man, if you're looking for us, you can find us on Wine Enthusiast 40 Under 40. You can also find us on FCastNetwork.com/PartnersPod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play,
Googleable.
and Spotify under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod.
Well, we'd like to thank Jess Hickey for coming through. I didn't make fun of your name like I promised.
I know you said you were going to.
I said I
You were
was, and then we
mature
started.
as shit.
We tried.
How
You
many
said you
times-
weren't going to do it, but then you mentioned it.
I
So-
literally.
Well, I had to let people because I had people
I heard
who
it and I was
listened.
like, oh, so we're just gonna blow over that. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
me,
see what I mean? This is why I had to mention it. I didn't forget about the people. The people wanted me to say something. She's
We're
doing
being
some big
adults on this
things. She's
episode.
doing
Alrighty
great
then, I
things
guess.
out in Westmoreland County. Craft beer is expanding. It's you know what I mean, it's running through neighborhoods and in areas like a wildfire, man. You got to catch on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm happy to hear about what's going on. I want to make it out. Just the variety of events really excite me about it. And then, you know, you associate that with good beer. It'll be a great time. As always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. And we out.